Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga Moments. I'm Janice and today's flow is for our legs. So if you want to get a little bit stronger in the legs, a little more stability, a little strength, this is a great flow for you. We're going to be seated, we're going to be standing, but as always, I'm going to start in the chair. So I will see you there when you're ready. And when you're ready, we'll come into our seated posture. So finding our alignment here, with our head over our heart over our pelvis, and then we take it inside. So we lift up from our pelvic floor, we draw our navel in and up, and we lift our heart up towards the sky. So shoulders can come up, roll back onto our back. Maybe you close your eyes here. Just check in with your breath. See what your breath is telling you today. If you find that you are holding anywhere, then just see if you can breathe to that spot. Maybe soften it a little bit. Take a couple breaths here just for you. You've shown up, you're doing awesome. And we're going to feel really good at the end of this. So on your next inhale, flutter your eyes open, and we're going to start, I know it's for the legs, but we're going to work kind of our top down a little bit. So we're going to start with drawing circles with our nose. So on an inhale, we're going to come up. On an exhale, all the way down and through. So see if you can paint circles here with your nose and feel it out. Take control for yourself. So maybe you like big circles, maybe you like little ones, maybe you mix it up. And just see how it feels. Maybe you explore, find something new. See if you can maintain that alignment in your spine. And if you haven't changed directions, go ahead, change directions. See if you can synchronize this movement to your breath. And when you're ready, we're going to come back to center. We'll take our hands, drop them down, inhale. Reach all the way up. Press into all four corners of your feet here. We're going to take our right hand to our left wrist. And on an exhale, we're going to tip over to the right. I say tip, but we're still lifting up from all four sides of our torso here. Maybe you look up towards the sky. Take a couple of breaths. Feel that stretch in the left side body. And we'll inhale, come back to center. Exhale, flutter the arms down. On an inhale, we're going to sweep them back up. Take it to the other side. So left hand comes to the right wrist. And on an exhale, we'll just slide over to the right or to the left side. Maybe you look up. Take a couple of breaths here into that right side body. Should create a little bit of space all the way down to the hip. On your next inhale, we're going to come all the way up, flutter the arms down. And now we're going to get situated with our legs. So we're going to start by drawing circles with our right hip or right knee, so to speak. The motion's going to come from our hip, and if you need a hand, you can always use your own hands. If you need a little more, you can grab like a dish towel or a hand towel, or maybe a regular towel if you need that. And we're just going to draw circles with our knee, one direction. See if you can maintain this alignment up through the core. So pelvic floor draws up, navel's drawing in and up. So this alignment really gives us stability, and it gives us kind of more deep movement in through the rest of our stretches and through the rest of the asanas. So, you know, I could slump here, but then I'm not really encouraging these muscles in my hip to work and creating as much space for them as I could. So we'll take it the other way if you haven't started already. And I'm not, passive in my left foot. I'm still pressing into the ground with my left foot, creating that stability. It's a full body experience here. And that's good, right? Because everything is connected to everything. So, if you're going to improve one area, everywhere is going to get better. So All right, now we're going to come back, extend the right foot, and I'm going to keep a nice micro bend in my knee here. We're going to flex our toes towards our face, and we're going to lift up as far as is comfortable for us. So for you, maybe you've just got your heel off the ground, maybe your heel's still on the ground, and this is enough for you, but see if you can engage those quads a little bit, lift up here. Again, keeping that alignment, lifting up. So I'm reaching through my heel, but I'm also drawing my femur, my thigh bone into my hip. Keeping this alignment, maybe you flex and point the toes. Circles with the feet. Find a little organic movement for yourself. And again, if you need to just set it down for a minute, shake it out, go for it. But really see if you can find a little bit of stretch, a little bit of strength here. If you're feeling pain or strain, come back, lower it down. And a couple more circles. And we'll release. So right foot comes to the ground. We're going to take it to the other side now. So circles with our left knee. Again, that motion's going to come from our hip. But see if you can, maybe slow it down here. Find new space. See if you can make it smooth, or if there's a little bit of resistance in some areas. If there is, that's okay. We're just exploring. Some of yoga is just observation. Maybe all of yoga is just observation. Where am I today? So take it the other way if you haven't already. See if you can maintain this alignment. Lift your heart up. Smile. Oof. All right. So I'll bring my left foot down. And same thing again. We're going to extend our left foot. Flex the toes towards our feet. I'm going to keep a micro bend in my knee here so that I don't end up hyperextending. And I'm going to lift up as far as I can comfortably. So really engaging the quads here. In fact, if you touch your thigh, you can probably feel how engaged you are. And again, if you're lower here, that's totally okay. With practice, you're going to grow, you're going to get stronger, and eventually you'll just slide on up like this. Chances are it'll happen one day. You'll be like, wait, how did that get there? But it should feel really good. So explore here. Maybe you point, flex the feet. Maybe you draw circles with the toes. If your ankle cracks, you're probably not the only one. All right, we're going to lower back down, and then we're going to come into standing posture. So this is something that we've been working on here because it really works all of our core. So we're going to press into all four corners of our feet. Again, if you need hands on the arms, if you have arms on your chair or on the seat, go for it. But we're going to find this alignment. We're going to find this lift up through our core, and we're going to come into a standing posture. So we're going to find our alignment with our feet hip width apart, and we're going to see if we can spread our toes just as wide as we can here. So play a little bit, lift the toes, stretch them out. You can look down, maybe you just look up and just feel how that feels. So creating a little bit of space here in the feet. And then we're going to inhale, bend our knees, sweep the arms up nice and tall overhead, drop the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to exhale, and we're going to bring our hands to our back. So if you can turn your hands up, that's great. If not, we're going to bring our hands to our hips. See if we can get our thumbs on our back. If not, just really low on the hips. What we're going to do is we're going to keep this alignment here. I'm going to bring my hands all the way behind me. And we're going to get nice and tall. So little back bend here to stretch the front body. We're going to inhale, draw a line with our nose, look up, and slowly arch backwards. But I'm lifting out of all four sides of my torso. So I'm not just, cranking forward to come back, but I'm really creating this lift, nice and long, and then I'm going back. So my back bend's not that deep, but I am opening my heart. I'm creating a little length across my hip flexors. And take a couple of breaths here. If you're shaking or feeling uncomfortable, come out of it just a little bit. So it should feel comfortable. One more big breath. You're doing awesome. Drop your elbows just a little bit, create a little bit of space. And on an inhale, we'll come all the way up. All right. So I'm going to turn back and face you guys. From hip width apart, we're going to walk our feet out so they're a little bit wider than hip width apart. Maybe a little bit more than a little bit wider, if you follow what I'm saying there. I'm going to turn my hips or my feet out about 45 degrees. And I'm going to have a nice little bend in my legs. I can straighten and find that alignment, that nice strength up if I draw up from my arches of my feet, wiggle my toes again. And I'm going to keep a nice straight back here. So I'm really going to find that alignment. And then as I bend my knees, I'm going to lower down, but I'm going to lower down moving straight from my core. So it's not that my knees are coming out, but my core is going to lower. And I'm going to keep my back nice and straight like I'm sliding down a wall. If your knees go to fall in here, maybe narrow your stance just a little bit. But I'm going to try and keep my knees out so that they're over my feet. And if you're here, perfect. We're going to open our chest. Maybe you bring it into goddess arms. And we're going to inhale, come up. If you're looking for a little more, you can go a little bit wider. But I always recommend, start a little slower because this might be good for a lot of people. And if it is perfect, again, with practice, you're going to grow. And eventually, you'll widen your stance and you'll go a little deeper. So wherever you are, we're going to inhale, come up, straighten our legs. And then exhale, lower down like we're taking our back straight down a wall. So we're going to hold here for a couple of breaths. Really opening our hips, working our quads, pressing into all four corners of our feet. If you're here and you want a little more, again, you can come up, widen your stance. Or wherever you are, maybe you start to play a little bit. So maybe you lift your right foot. Maybe you lift your left foot. If you need a chair for a little extra balance, go for it. So modify it however you need to. Get whatever props you need so that you can kind of work into it. And again, if you're just starting out, you're doing awesome. Keep that back nice and straight. Inhale, come up. So I didn't go as deep as I could, but again, it's the working into it. So this is just as good as doing this, because we're still working the same muscles. The principles are all the same. Getting all excited here in my goddess pose. Feeling a lot of energy. So wherever you are is perfect. We're going to come up one more time. And just for fun, we're going to bring our hands out to the side. You can stretch your fingers. Maybe you take like a Jnana mudra with your index finger to your thumb. Going to exhale, lower down one more time. You got this. A little bit further. One big sweet breath. Open the hips. And we're going to inhale, come up. Whew. All right, we're going to heel toe our feet back together. And we're going to sit down. So again, creating this lift, finding that alignment even as I'm sitting, even as I'm lowering, my body is still lifting. Big opposites here in yoga. We're going to come into our warrior pose. So we're going to do a seated version of this. And to do that, I'm going to turn first to my left. And I'm just going to make kind of like a 90-degree square with my hips, or with my legs. So if you have trouble with that, then we're just going to slowly work on opening and, energetically pulling our legs open so that we can be at 90 degrees. If you're already here and you want more, then we're going to bring our right foot back. And I'm going to turn it so that it's pointing kind of towards the top right side of my mat. My left foot, my knee is over top of my ankle, pressing into all four corners, drawing up from the arch. And then it's pretty hard to get all the way to the top right corner of your mat with your back foot, so just turn it on an incline that's comfortable for you. And I'm going to open my hips here, press into all four corners of the back feet. So really try and push into that knife edge. And then I'm going to move my mic just a little bit so that my hips can open. And we're going to try and find this nice long body. So as much as I'm opening my hips, I'm still creating that lift, that nice long body. I'm going to take my arms out, And I'm gonna look straight over my left middle finger. So a couple big breaths here, really opening the hips, really pressing into all four corners of both feet. You've got this. So a couple breaths. We're gonna flip the left hand. Inhale, reach it all the way up. Bring your right hand back to your right thigh. Reach it up. Maybe you look up. And we're gonna exhale, bring it back to center. So to do that, I'm gonna bend my right knee, and I'm gonna walk my foot back to the center, bring my left foot around, and I'm gonna take it to the other side. So again, if you're just starting out and you really don't have a lot of mobility, we're just gonna open our hips to 90 degrees if we can. Press into all four corners of both feet here and just keep energetically opening our hips. If you have more available to you than that, then we're gonna bring our left foot back, turn it to the side, and I'm gonna bring my right knee over top of my right ankle. So I'm opening my hips here, pressing into all four corners of both feet, and I'm gonna find this length. So I'm keeping my shoulders over top of my hips. Take a second, maybe you feel your hips here. And then I'm gonna open my arms. So nice and wide, nice and strong, drawing my shoulder blades together here, and then looking over top of my right middle finger. Big breath. So full body engagement here. We're gonna inhale, flip the right hand, and then reach it all the way up. So left hand's coming back to my left thigh. I'm gonna reach it all the way up, create a little space in this right side of my body. And then I'm gonna exhale, bring it back. All right, I'm gonna bring my hands to my heart. Just to help keep that lift, I'm gonna bend my left knee, walk my foot in, bring my right foot around. And we're gonna do a little forward fold just to create a little space in the back of our neck. So I'm gonna inhale, sweep my arms up nice and tall, drop my shoulders away from my ears, and I'm gonna come forward. So leading with the heart here. Yeah, it should feel really, really good. And maybe you just stop, once you're parallel to the ground, or maybe you roll it through. Let your head hang heavy. Feel a little stretch in the lower back. Take a big, big breath. So I know we've done a little bit of work in this practice, really stretched out kind of our thighs, our quads. But don't underestimate how much work your breathing can do. So even though this isn't the most active pose, I am pressing into all four corners of my feet here. Just taking a really, really big breath is creating a very nice stretch in the back of my lower back. And even up around my diaphragm. So on an inhale, we're going to come on up. Roll it up. When you get here, find a little something that feels good. So maybe you shake it out. Maybe you come into a seated pose, or maybe you stay with your feet on the ground. Wherever you are, I thank you so much for inviting me into your home and into your practice and for sharing this time with me. I'm honored, truly. And from my heart to yours, we'll bring our hands up to our hearts. Namaste.